There are kids in this world who are different, special.
And this episode, we'll be breaking down the 36th episode of 6 Months Season 4, piece by piece. Well, hello, Review Pop listeners, it's Landon Mueller.
Now we are here tonight to talk about episode 36 of 6 Months Season 4, called Out on the Roof for a Cyrus/Brynleigh Reunion, finally. And we're joined here by the one and only Valeria Gonzalez, who voices Holiday on 6 Months Season 4. Hey Val, how you doing?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to have you on today, and we're going to talk about episode 36, and of course, ask you, just some amazing questions about, your role, stepping into that role, and, just your acting career. So
here goes.
Let's do it.
What was it like stepping into the role of Holiday and taking over as such a prominent character? When I was listening to episode 1, I thought I was listening to the original actress, Shahadi, so I think that really says a lot about,
just how great of an actress you are.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely had to do a lot of research. I've heard of 6 Minutes, but I didn't know too much about it before. So I listened back to older episodes, trying to catch up. And it was a lot of fun. I love the show. The best part of the show for me is the music. I love the music. David's a great writer. I don't know, I had fun with it. And I studied, I did my research, met the cast, and they were so welcoming, so willing to work with me and catch me up and, to get to understand Holiday a lot more. And I did, and I love Holiday, I really do. I love playing her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've done such an excellent job. And was it, just surprising to you to see, the magnitude of 6 Minutes?
And, just see...
there's so many people involved, right? Obviously, Shahadi, who voiced the, original Holiday, but, also, there are, just so many fantastic actors and actresses involved.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And I think it was probably really exciting for you, just getting to meet all these people and,
Oh, it was so exciting. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, growing up, just watching film and TV or things of that sort, what inspired you to becoming interested in acting? Also, do you remember a specific experience that inspired your love of acting?
Ooh, yes, absolutely. I started acting in school. I did theater. So I think my first show ever, I did Alice in Wonderland. I was 8 years old and I was a park kid. I was, ensemble, and I had so much fun. That's when I fell in love with basically playing pretend. And I was like, I want to play pretend for a living and do this as, my job. So I never stopped doing the shows at my school. Then I went to high school. I did those shows. I met other kids and, and then I went and got an agent and started auditioning. I love auditioning. I know most people might disagree with me, but I love to audition and I generally love to just be in someone else's shoes and research a role and just kind of immerse myself in that world that the writer creates. So I auditioned and here we are. But yeah, the first moment that I can remember that I was like, I want to act was when I was 8 years old. And I was that first show, Alice in Wonderland, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you said how you love, auditions. I think
that's such a great quality to have, right? Because,
it's different for most people in the sense that, maybe that's nerve-wracking or, it feels like you have to do it absolutely perfect. But, just the fact that, you enjoy that, I think
that's a great quality.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I know you're going to school to study music, and you are a fantastic singer. And when you are on Rewind, you said that you have a studio, which is great because you do voiceover.
I do, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering what type of projects you strive to work on and how singing and music will play a role in your future. I, for one, can't wait to see, just what amazing things you do next. So, yeah, what kind of projects would those be, to work on?
Well, I do have something in the works. I am releasing some music. As of right now, it is a secret, and I can't really talk a lot about it. But yeah, I just actually graduated from NYU. I studied music at the Clive Davis Institute, and I do have my own studio. I'm a singer first. I grew up singing, theater. Theater is singing, acting, dancing, but out of those three things, I preferred singing and acting. And I love doing both things. But yeah, you'll definitely see some Valeria music coming out very soon.
I think that's really exciting that you're kind of opening up the next chapter of your life, and we're all really excited to see what you do next, right? As fans, we follow, kind of what all of the actors are doing. So yeah, I mean, I think it's really exciting. You've kind of seen what your co-stars have done, and just how far things have gone since 6 minutes. So
oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Patrick. He plays River. We're all gonna see him. He's in Stranger Things on Broadway. So we're all gonna go and support him. But yeah, everyone in the cast is so amazing, and I love them, and we're very close.
I don't know if you listened to Rewind or not, but
it was mentioned that one of a super fan of 6 Minutes went to see Patrick and met him, after the show had ended. So I think that's really exciting.
Oh, that's so cute. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm really curious to know what, your recording process looks like for 6 Minutes, in the sense that, you're usually not recording with someone else. You have to picture their lines in your head, and, is this something that comes easily to you, or do you have to think about it a little bit?
Well, I do have to think about it. I feel like I don't think anyone can really just, go with Dave reading the lines. Basically, I've recorded with Kate. She plays Sam. I've recorded with her. I actually just recorded with Zeph. He plays Cyrus. But we literally just had like an all cast recording at the same time kind of thing, literally like on Monday. That was the first time we were all together recording. But typically it's just me and one other person, and it's Dave, the director, just reading the lines, and I act back to him, which was a little tricky at first. I've never really recorded that way, but I got the hang of it. And Dave is actually a really good fill-in actor. So he gives me something to work with, and I really do appreciate that. He's pretty good. But we made it work. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I imagine you recorded with one other person, because I think it was a year ago or something like that. There's this video of
Ava DeMary and
I forgot who else. They were working together recording, and so yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a cool process, right? Because if just two people in a scene, but also, if there's another person in a scene, right? Because then it becomes tricky. But also, I think, yeah, I mean, you've done a great job, and also when you're listening, I think you think about the experience, and you're also not really thinking about oh yeah, wait, she had to record by herself. So yeah, I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah, awesome. It's true.
Yeah, the next question I've asked to everyone that's been on the show. I'm wondering what the first radio drama or audio drama you listened to was. Or was it 6 Minutes? I'm really interested to know, because when I had Gabriella Scott on the podcast, she said that she first listened to an audio drama while learning French.
Honestly, that's crazy. Me too. I took French in high school, and that was the first time I listened to an audio drama, for sure. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna have to talk to her about that. We both have that same experience. But after that, 2020, COVID happened, and I was still in high school, and we did an audio drama type of thing. We did Medusa. Yeah, that's what we did. And I played Medusa. It was so fun. But that was the first audio drama I've been involved in, but the first time I've ever listened to one was definitely in high school.
Yeah, I think that's cool. It was really cool, getting to meet, Gabriella Scott, and right, she's so nice. She's really, just so nice.
Oh, I love Gabby. Yes.
Yeah. Well, is there any type of acting you haven't already done that you would like to? I know you have a background in theater, so you're of course a, singer, and you're working on 6 Minutes now.
What would that look like and why?
I've been auditioning for film acting. I would love to book a TV series for sure. I would love to do, I would love to be in a sitcom. A fun fact about me, I think I'm honestly, I think I'm pretty funny. I'm a pretty funny, actress. I would love to do, a sitcom type of thing. Yeah, I wouldn't say Holiday is, I wouldn't say she's not funny, but she's more fierce than anything. But if Holiday was a little bit funnier, I think you guys and the fans would see that I think I'm pretty funny, but more comedic roles for sure.
It was said in Rewind, just the chemistry of the characters, and then it becomes so much easier to write that humor. And also the other thing that me and Dave talked about on the show was, when I had him on, was the, opportunity of 6 Minutes someday becoming a TV show, because he talked about how their other show, The Unexplainable Disappearance of Mars Patel, almost became a TV show. And so he said how he'd, just love to be a showrunner.
I think it would be an amazing animated series. I hope, putting it out there in the universe.
Yeah. So, I got 10 clips today. And yeah.
Let's listen back to the first clip.
Okay, let's do it.
It's really you?
Brynleigh, you're you. I can't believe I found you.
Wait, what did you say?
I found you.
Well, technically I found you.
Yeah, I think it's important to think back to all the crazy events that led up to this, right? They both sang in front of thousands of people in Berlin and
regained their memory on stage, so...
I think this scene then becomes that much more special because of what led to it, and I can't wait to see, what else they will accomplish together.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I love Brynleigh. I love how at the beginning of the season she goes, Brynleigh, and that's one of my favorite things in the entire world. I love her so much.
Right, and, I can, picture her face just turning to...
something completely different,
and, then they go back and forth a little bit right after this, but, also... And, I don't think we really get this, with other shows. What do you think of the relationship of Cyrus and Brynleigh and, just how far it's come?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's been a long run. I think they're both hilarious every time they have any scenes together, and I just laugh so much. I really do. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, Cyrus, what's happening to me? What happens if next time I disappear, I don't come back?
Yeah, and, I think this scene conveys two different emotions. For a second there, we get to share in the happiness of Cyrus and Brynleigh.
Mm-hmm. And then mystery, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of kind of, of course, no spoilers or anything, but, what do you think of kind of, the mystery aspect of,
we're going, from, a happy scene to...
kind of that mystery element of 6 Minutes?
Yeah. All I'll say is, a lot of mysterious things have been happening, right? Well, we'll see. We'll see what's coming.
Yeah, I know that's been hard for, whenever, whenever as a fan.
You're interviewing someone, just the fact that...
they kind of have to say things vaguely. So, yeah.
Sounds like a fair trade to me. Once you deliver Brynleigh to me, you're free to go.
If you're really serious, Doc, I'll do it.
Yeah, right, so my prediction was confirmed. Last week, I predicted that
Dr. Whittier would make a proposal to Katie.
And you were right!
What do you think of you kind of talked a bit about the music cues and, just the importance to the show. So what do you think of kind of the music cues that were added in Season 3? Because there were these original tracks that were from Season 1 and Season 2, but then we have these, additional music cues for Season 3 and 4. So, what do you think of those? And, how do you think those add to the scene?
Oh, they absolutely elevate every single scene. It's funny because we record, obviously we just record and there's no music while we're recording. So we're just recording. But then when we listen back to the, released episodes, we're like, oh my goodness, this is not how we pictured. This is so elevated. The emotions are so heightened and it's insane. It's incredible. And I love them. I think the music is genius. It makes the episode so engaging and it makes you want to, know more about what's going on.
Yeah, it's interesting with the history of these shows and how they go back to other shows. So yeah,
I think it's great.
And I have a feeling it's gonna keep happening until we figure out a way to anchor you.
We. Just hearing that word makes me feel better.
Me too.
I love Zev. Cyrus. Very interesting voice. I think it's perfect for Cyrus.
And also, Ryan Shanahan, and with his younger voice, I think that was really interesting at the time because
He has such a distinct voice back then.
and it's really fantastic. But with Cyrus's help, I think Brynleigh should be able to fix what has already happened to her, and I can tell Cyrus is nervous. He doesn't want to risk losing Brynleigh again, and
There's not much he can do without, experimenting.
Cyrus knows a lot about, how the time phone functions and what it can do, so maybe he'll be, just be able to figure out something. I also love that mention of we. They will always be a team, but I love how much they matter to each other right now.
They've been through a lot, those two. I love when they're together, though. It really feels like they're just complete. They're happier people. It's very sweet. It's very cute. But we'll see what Cyrus can do and what's gonna happen with Brynleigh. But I feel confident.
What happened? Where have you been?
I got the time phone back. But Whittier is going to figure it out and come after us any minute. We have to get out of here. Now.
But we're on the roof.
Yeah, ultimately, I'd like to think that Katie wouldn't turn Brynleigh over to Dr. Whittier.
They've built, just such a connection, and,
I hope Katie doesn't damage that. It's hard to tell if she's trying to,
trick Brynleigh in the scene.
the fact that, she has the time phone makes me want to believe that she's trying to help Brynleigh, but I think as listeners, we have to expect, the unexpected.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's great. What do you think of the character of Katie and, just how involved she's been?
Especially with this season.
I think she's been very involved. I honestly, I'm blanking on how, I don't remember what exactly Katie does at the beginning of this season, but...
Right, because Katie has her memory and Brynleigh doesn't.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see how all this is unfolding, especially with Katie's character. But we'll see what happens with Dr. Whittier.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get in!
I have to stay behind with Mom. Can you take Brynleigh and Katie to Mr. Pasternak's cabin?
Roger that. Climb aboard, girls.
Wait. I want to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's so funny hearing James,
Hello, time travelers, so,
Yeah, he's so great. He really is. Mike Crane,
We were actually joking with each other. On Monday, I was joking with Zeph. And he was like, I swear, there's always a helicopter in every single episode. And I was like, honestly, that might be true. There's always a helicopter. There's either always a helicopter or swimming in water and yelling.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, going to the clip itself, Brynleigh and Katie will be staying together at the Pasternak cabin. We've already, just seen how much they've gotten to know each other, and now they have, a chance to further that.
If you think about it,
Can you just shut up and kiss me?
soon.
It better be. Coming, Mr. A!
In so many ways, I thought this scene was great. I will admit, the goodbye kind of came and went, but it makes sense considering this isn't really goodbye, right? Cyrus is trying to, keep Brynleigh safe by having her, just say, somewhere else, and...
I think that, says a lot about him. He,
is always trying to protect Brynleigh, and he's so caring, and, GZM really nailed the Sally moment, and, I can't wait to see, just what happens next, right?
Yeah. It's a reunion, yes, but it's kind of like a new chapter.
Adam?
But you can leave a message anyway.
Really?
Why would River call Adam?
Not for anything good. He has to be the one who sent them the hoverboard.
I'm really glad I had you on for this week's episode because you're not only in it, but, you had some great lines, I went back and listened to Shahadi playing Holiday in the finale of Season 3, and I, for one, think you guys sound so similar, right? And, yeah.
That's what I get. Yeah, I get that a lot. I personally don't really hear it. I think we sound very different. But, I'm also in my own head, so, I don't know.
Maybe you could imagine that Holiday's voice got, slightly deeper, or maybe she reprogrammed it a little bit.
Yeah, there are ways that you can make it work, for sure, yeah.
He's taking them somewhere safe.
Good. Then let's get Angel in here. It's time we start turning you into a wit kid.
I kind of love, the bravery. I love the bravery, Cyrus is showing, in the sense that, he's now an adult and he wants to restore balance in the timelines. Val, this was such a huge episode, and it was really exciting to get to talk to you, and also, it was such an honor to have you on. I really appreciate you joining me, and,
Yeah, no, for sure.
Until next time, this is Landon saying peace, love, and time travel.